Patriots Day tells a true story of what went down in the aftermath of the horrific Boston Marathon bombings back in 2013. Directed by Peter Berg, the film stars Mark Wahlberg, who team up again after the success they had with Lone Survivor and again last year with Deepwater Horizon. Now they come back with this, Patriots Day, with star Mark Wahlberg and director Peter Berg, also starring John Goodman, Kevin Bacon, and yeah, the film essentially tells the true story of the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013 and what went down in the result of the aftermath of that. Now going into this film, I was actually really looking forward to seeing it because I wasn't that interested in this film when it was first announced. However, when I saw the trailer for it in the cinema a few months back, I was like, wow, that actually does look really good. I want to go and check this out now. So the film was finally released here in the UK. I went to go and see it, and yeah, this film was really good. I was a big fan of Deepwater Horizon that came out last year. I don't know if that film was amazing. It wasn't kind of one of the best films of the year for me, but I thought it was a really great, kind of powerful, intense film that really worked on so many levels. I had some little issues with it, but overall I thought that was a really great, solid film. And I think Patriots Day, as much as I like Deepwater Horizon, maybe I like Deepwater Horizon a little bit more, but I think Patriots Day might have even been the better film. Deepwater Horizon, it did veer a little bit into kind of just generic disaster movie kind of territory, even though I think it was a really kind of great film. This felt a little bit more serious, a little bit more mature and grown up. It was still a little over dramatic and over the top in certain bits, but on the whole I thought this was a really great film. What I like most about this film is that it really felt kind of real watching this. Again, it was a little over dramatic and over the top in certain parts. I can kind of forgive it for that. It was only kind of little bits here and there, but on the most part this film felt really real, and I really liked how they implemented kind of archive footage, actual kind of CCTV footage into this film. It often cut back between kind of the actual film and then real footage of the events, and the way in which they did that was really seamless. It was done in such a way where it almost felt like you were watching the real events. It didn't feel like you were watching a dramatised reconstruction of past events. It felt like you were watching the real events unfold on screen, and how they implemented the kind of real footage in there. It was really riveting in that way because it really felt like you were watching the real events go down. It didn't feel like you were watching a film at times. Another thing I liked was that it was a really great tribute to kind of the real people and the real heroes and how they actually handled this event. And it was actually all kind of handled and solved really quite quickly. It was only like hours afterwards that it was almost really all tied up, and I really liked how they showed all the people behind the scenes and everything that went into kind of solving kind of the crime, essentially, of what happened, and finding these guys and finding what actually happened and getting the case solved, essentially. And it was really cool seeing these guys behind the scenes. You've got J.K. Simmons was in there, John Goodman was in there, Kevin Bacon was in there, all playing real people. My only real gripe, I think, as far as the character was concerned, was Mark Wahlberg. I think he was perfectly fine. He was great in that kind of everyday Boston guy kind of role, but I think from what I'm aware of is that his character wasn't actually a real person, or was a composite of kind of different people mashed together. He felt almost like a caricature of a person, really. He didn't really feel like a real person. I'm not really sure if he was necessarily his character, but then again, the film did require a kind of main character for you to kind of get behind and follow, essentially. It's just that all the other people were kind of playing important parts in the story, and he didn't really feel like he was necessary to the plot. He was kind of just there as the main character for the film, for us to follow and get behind. He didn't really need to be there. He kind of popped up every now and again, but it's like he wasn't really necessary to the story. But I did like Mark Wahlberg in the role. I think I preferred him in Deepwater Horizon, but I think he was still really good here. And again, all the cast, they were all great. J.K. Simmons, John Goodman, Kevin Bacon, so many great actors, all delivered great performances. And it was great, again, to see the real guys behind the scenes. As you know, when you watch these things go down on the TV, you see the horrific bombing, and then that's it. But then in this film, the bombing really is only the start of it, and then you see everything that went down in the aftermath of that, and how everything was kind of how they tried to kind of solve everything and tie everything up. And it was really kind of riveting, really. It was for me, when the bombing happened, that's when the film really kicked in, and everything after that was really kind of interesting. I was really locked in. It was really cool to see what went down behind the scenes to try and get this case solved, essentially. I also liked how they showed it from both perspectives. They even showed it from the terrorist perspective. It's not like they're just generic, stereotypical evil bad guys. We see a lot from their perspective as well, which I thought was good. It wasn't just one-sided. We saw from everyone's perspective, from lots of different characters, which helped it feel more real. It didn't really feel like a kind of generic kind of movie, in the sense that we saw from everyone's perspective and how everyone saw this event, and you know, I thought that made it more kind of realistic, and we were able to really kind of get involved with the film a lot more because we were able to, you know, see it from all these different characters' perspectives. As far as standout scenes, as soon as that bombing happened, obviously it's a horrific event, but as soon as that happened, from then on the film really went up a gear, and I think it was really kind of firing all cylinders from that point on. And also there's a great shootout toward the end of the film that was really great, just really impactful and just intense. And speaking of intense, there's another great scene in a car that was really just kind of nail-biting, pulse-pounding stuff. You just, like, it's really tense and suspenseful. You know something's going to go down, you're just waiting for it to happen. That was really great. There were so many great, really well executed, really well directed sequences in this film that are really intense and suspenseful and dramatic that I really liked. If I had any real criticisms with this film, just minor things really. I think it was a little iffy in the kind of setup before the actual bombing happened. It was another little issue I had with Deepwater Horizon. It kind of felt a little kind of generic, a little kind of pedestrian and by the numbers, how it's introducing to us all these characters. I get it, they kind of need to do that. We needed to see all these characters and get attached to these characters and invest in who these people are before the actual bombing happens, so then we care later on. But it just does feel a little by the numbers, how we go from character to character. Here's this character, here's this character, here's a little bit about this character, make sure you're caring about these characters. I understand why they do it, but it just did feel a little kind of cliche and by the numbers. But as I said, as soon as the bombing happened, from then on, the film was really working for me in all these levels. And the only other real criticism I have is that from after that shootout that I was talking about, the film hits a little bit of a low. I still liked what happened after that, but it felt that was such a high point. It felt like that should have been the climax really, because the case kind of still goes on until they get the other guy that's involved. But from then on, I feel like, I don't know, it felt like that shootout was so great. It felt like that should have been the climax of the film. I feel like they could have wrapped it up there. Instead, it kind of kept going on and on and on. I was like, I don't know, I felt like that shootout would have been a really great finale to the film. But overall, I thought Patriots Day was really great. Just as good, maybe even better than Deepwater Horizon. I don't think it was too soon. It was 2013, it was 4 years ago, but I thought it was a really great, respectful tribute to kind of the real heroes that saved the lives of these people, and the people that were really kind of resilient and fought through it and are now still kind of fighting and carrying on with life today. I thought it was a really great tribute to that. It was done in a very respectful way, very tasteful I thought. So yeah, I thought this was a really great film. I'm going to give Patriots Day 4 stars. And there we go, that wraps up my review of Patriots Day. Have you seen the film yet? And if so, what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this and you haven't already, be sure to click subscribe to see more. But for now, I've been David O'Sullivan. I'll see you next time.